we go like that. Yeah.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to show you guys how I got this full on matte look. So usually I start off with having my brows done, but this time I'm going to show you guys how I do my brows, just because I'm using a whole bunch of Milani products and my pomade just so happens to be Milani as well. So I want to show you guys on camera how I do my brows. But of course we're going to prep our face first. So I just sprayed my face with the NYX Bare With Me multitasking spray. And now I'm going to go ahead and use the Milani Prime Perfection primer as well. So on to the brows now. I'll be using the Milani Stay Put Brow Color Pomade in dark brown, and also just showing that it came with this brush as well. So we're going to use the spoolie end of that brush and kind of brush out our brows a little bit, but my brows are really thin, so it doesn't really matter if I do that or not. So I'm going to go ahead and go into that pomade, and I'm going to start at the bottom of my brows and just kind of create that shape. My brows are already kind of the shape I want it to be, so I'm really just shading it in for the most part. So yeah, it's not really too much method to the madness, just because my brows are already shaped the way I want them to be shaped. I do my own brows. I actually just use a razor to shape them the way I want, and I've been doing that literally my whole life. But it's funny because I used to use the shade Ebony to shade in my brows, but one day I was cleaning up my makeup area and I accidentally threw away my pomade, so I had to use my roommate's, and she's a lot lighter than me. And after that, I was just like, oh my god, like, why haven't I used the lighter shade before? Because it just made my brows look a lot natural than how they used to look. And just looking back at my old videos and old pictures, like, my brows were so harsh, like they just overpowered my face, and it was just too much. And it's funny because this just happened like maybe 2 months ago that I started using a lighter shade, but I'm happy for that mistake because I definitely love my brows a lot more now than I did before. And so now I'm just going to be using that LA Pro Girl concealer in Toffee and just cleaning up my brows a little bit underneath. So yeah, this is the time where you just try to get your brows to match one another. My brows pretty much match, but they're kind of shaped differently. Like, one of them is kind of like a roundish shape at the end, and then the one I'm working on now is kind of more of a pointed shape. So I'm just trying to get them to look as similar as possible. And also just blending out that concealer a little bit once it's applied as well. And I almost forgot to mention, I just clean up the bottom of my brows. I don't do anything to the top, just to keep on with that whole more natural look that I'm trying to give as well. Now onto my favorite part, the face. I'll be using the NYX Mineral Matte Finishing Powder in the shade Medium to Dark. So if you're oily, this is perfect to help with oil control. Also, just to have your foundation not move at all. And this will all help to having a matte finish. So now I'll be going in with the Milani Conceal plus Perfect 2-in-1 Foundation plus Concealer in Golden Toffee. Whew, that was a mouthful. But anyways, this shade is a tad bit darker than me. This would be my shade if I was like in the sun or if it's summertime, but I'm lacking in vitamin D right now and we're on quarantine, so I still want to use it just because this would be my shade anyways. I really do actually like this foundation. It got mattified pretty quick, which was fine just because I was still able to work with it. Some other mattified foundation got way too matte way too quick, so it was kind of hard to work with, but this one was still pretty easy to work with. Not like my Maybelline Fit Me, but you know, it was still pretty good. I'll give it like a 7 out of 10. I hate to always bring up Maybelline, but I don't at the same time, just because like for me that's the standard, like that's the best drugstore foundation that is out there, so that's why I compare everything to that. But yeah, I still really do like this. Oh, and it also had really good coverage, so I do like this foundation a lot. And to highlight, I'll be using the Milani Conceal Plus Perfect Long Wearing Concealer in the shade Warm Honey and Natural Sand. I really like these concealers as well. I think I like the concealers better than the foundation too. And now I'll be using the Juvia's Play Shade Stick in Katsina to contour my cheeks and my forehead. And back again with that NYX Mineral Finishing Powder. I'm just putting that all over my highlighted areas. And it did take a minute to really wipe away all the extra product from the finishing powder from NYX. So I wasn't too much of a fan of it. I'd probably give it like a 4.5 out of 10, just because I did not like how it just sat on my face. I do like it if I'm putting it on before foundation, but not necessarily like to set my face anymore. So yeah, I wasn't too much of a big fan of that. And of course, Maybelline to the rescue, as always. But yeah, I'm just using that pressed powder in coconut and just putting that all over my highlighted areas as well. And now I'm just using this Maybelline Master Chrome highlighter in Molten Topaz to highlight my nose and my cheeks. And to set my contour area, I'm just using the Full Spectrum from Covergirl bronzer in the shade Ebony. And finally, onto eyes, I'll be using this ABHXAMREZY palette from ABH. And I'm going to go in with New Yorker first. I'm just lightly putting that into my crease, a little above my crease as well. You can't really see it on me, but I'm just using that to help blend in the other colors once I add that in as well. And now I'm just going to go in with 1988. I'm just going to put that into my crease and my outer corner as well. A little bit about this palette. I actually really love this palette. I love how buttery smooth the shades are, just how easy it is to glide across your eyes. And I love the shades in it as well. I started off kind of basic, a little safe, you know, but I can't wait to just create some colorful looks with this as well. And now I'm just going to go in with Yugo, and I'm just putting that in the outer corner of my eyes just to add a little more depth to it, and just darken it up a little bit right there. And now I'm going to go in with BK and do the same that I did with Yugo, just to put it in my outer corner and just darken up that area just a little bit. And as you can see, I go back in with 1988 just to help blend out all the shades together. And now I'm just going in with the shade OG and putting that all over my lids. I'm kind of doing the same method I would if I'm doing like a soft cut crease. So as you can see, I'm just kind of carving it out a little bit there. This look was originally supposed to be a soft glam look. But the OG shade was just too much on the orangey tan side. And I preferred, like in my head, I envisioned more of a brownish tan. I don't know if I'm explaining the color correctly, but once I find that exact shade that I'm looking for, I'm gonna do a soft glam. So this is just like an all matte look instead. It's not necessarily my favorite, but I still like it. I still did that regardless. So yeah. A look really comes together for me once the liner and lashes are applied. So that's when I really start to like this look a little bit more. And so onto lips now. I am just applying brown liner right now. And I'll just be applying the NYX Soft Matte Abu Dhabi onto my lips. I really love this shade. It's like all reliable. Like you can't go wrong with this shade at all. And there you guys have it, the finished look. It all came together real nicely with the hair. It even matched the shirt and everything. But I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys want to see from me. And I will see you guys in my next video.